Now, the iPhone 15 Pro is not only an interesting phone, but it's also an interesting concept because even though it's very comparable to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I think that it's better in terms of practicality. Practical, suitable for a particular purpose. Synonyms: functional, useful, and most importantly, suitable. Now, these are the following words that come to my mind when I think of the word practical. And when it comes to something you use every day, like a smartphone, for example, practical is the most important factor. Every single day, we aim to make choices and decisions that can help make our lives easier. And it truly does help to have a smartphone that can make the daily hardships of life hold a little less weight on our shoulders. And that's kind of how I feel about the iPhone 15 Pro. I'm someone who has always been an advocate for bigger phones, the Galaxy S24 Ultra over the regular S24, the Pixel 8 Pro over the regular Pixel 8, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max over the iPhone 15 Pro. But recently, I picked up the iPhone 15 Pro and I couldn't help how much easier it is to use compared to my iPhone 15 Pro Max. And not only was it a little bit easier to use, but it was also cheaper, which took less of a load off my pockets. I really enjoyed the fact that it was a smaller phone since it resulted in better portability and a more comfortable feel. I didn't have to overextend my fingers in order to reach the top of the screen. I didn't have to hold the phone in my hand since it could fit into any pair of pants I wore. And the 6.1-inch display is the perfect size, great for watching a YouTube video, and still light enough to hold for a longer period of time. And little things like this added up very quickly, and is the reason why I'm actually starting to prefer average size phones like the iPhone 15 Pro, especially since it has less annoying problems. And speaking of annoying problems, are you tired of constantly receiving spam phone calls to the point where you don't even answer your phone anymore? If so, I would like to introduce you guys to a partner of mine that can protect your personal information all across the board. Aura. Aura is an easy-to-use app that includes everything that you need to stay safe online. Aura protects you from scammers and hackers by scanning the so-called dark web, where criminals sell stolen information, looking for your emails, passwords, phone number, and social security numbers. And it alerts you very fast if it finds anything. Aura also let me know that my information was on its way to the dark web, and this is why apps like Aura are important to me. It keeps my info safe and secure while adding extra features that other services don't have. They help you fight back against those annoying websites that make your personal information public by automatically requesting removal of your info, and this helps reduce robocalls. Aura gives you real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries, like if someone was opening a loan or credit card in your name. Their VPN allows you to stay anonymous online by keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. And many data brokers are making a fortune selling your information to robocallers, spammers, and others who want to know more about you, like where you live at. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your info and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove your info if you ask them to, but they make it super hard to do. And they protect your devices from viruses, malware, spyware, and more so that bad guys can't break in. Or even helps you manage what your kids can do on their devices. You can restrict specific apps, set screen time limits, and even set focus times to ensure that your child is doing their homework instead of binge watching YouTube. And their password manager lets you store and access your online passwords conveniently and safely. And maybe you already have an app that does one of these things, but with Aura, you don't have to download and pay for 7 separate apps. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online. If you sign up right now, Aura will give you a 2-week free trial with my link. So you can either let people continue to exploit and profit off your personal information, or you can go to aura.com/Nasim to start your 2-week free trial, and this link will be in the description of today's video. And again, I want to thank Aura for sponsoring today's video. And in this video, I want to go over my experience with the iPhone 15 Pro after the updates. Do I love it? Do I hate it? Let's find out. Now, durability has been a minor upgrade when it comes to not just the 15 Pro, but the iPhone 15 series as a whole. When I first got this phone, I used it completely caseless, but I had to stop for 2 reasons. The first reason is because although it feels more smooth and sleek thanks to the titanium material, this also resulted in it being much more slippery, which gave me some anxiety whenever I was using my phone outside. Now, the second reason is because the iPhone has always had terrible scratch resistance when it comes to their displays. On multiple occasions, I picked up slight scratches for the smallest reasons, and once I seen some tiny scratches on my 15 Pro, I made sure to get a case with raised sides in case I drop it on my floor. Now, the iPhone 15 Pro is IP68 dust and water resistant, and I have yet to take it to the beach or drop it in water by accident, but I do want to give you guys a little test to see how it holds up. So I decided to run it under my sink for a good minute, and I wasn't surprised that it was still working fine. But besides that, the durability has been fine. It's not the worst, but it's also not really nothing to write home about. But when it comes to build quality, the iPhone 15 Pro excels in feel and aesthetic. The 15 Pro had this very boxy frame with rounded corners. The boxy frame made it an easier grip, while the rounded corners made it very comfortable to hold, since it rests in my palms easier compared to the more boxier Galaxy S24 Ultra that stabs the inside of my palm. Going further into its comfort factor, compared to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, the 15 Pro is much smaller, which results in an easier feel when it comes to reaching to the top of the screen. Watching videos horizontally, the buttons are more easy to reach, especially the action button, and it's 34 grams lighter, so I could hold it for a longer amount of time. And also, quick note to close out the aesthetic and durability, blue titanium has been my favorite color in terms of aesthetic, but the practicality is definitely lacking when compared to natural titanium. Blue titanium has been more prone to showing fingerprints and is even more prone to looking dirty after holding it without a case. Now, one of my favorite things about the iPhone 15 Pro is that it now has a USB-C port, and I'm not gonna lie, this made my life incredibly easy. Now, I own a lot of different tech, and over the years, every single piece of tech that I own has adapted USB-C. My headphones, my video game controllers, my video games, and all my other phones. So being able to use everything with just one cable and not having to worry about forgetting my lightning cable or going to a place that doesn't have it is a problem that I don't think about anymore. Now, continuing the many things that the iPhone 15 Pro made easier, the camera has made my work life and everyday life very easy as well. And if you guys didn't know, 99% of the videos shot on this channel come from my iPhone. And at this moment, I'm consistently switching between the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. And both of these phones are damn near the exact same in quality, but the process of shooting is where they differ. And when it comes to casual shots, you can see that both phones have a great amount of depth when it comes to the standard, great 4K resolution, good depth of blur in the background when focusing on the subject, not too much contrast, but also gives a great amount of realism when compared to the S24 series. The stabilization on both phones was top tier, and overall, both phones are able to give you some of the best shots that you'll see on a phone in 2024. And when it comes to me shooting videos, again, the 15 Pro is more comfortable to hold, and I could get a better grip whenever I got certain shots. On the other hand, the 15 Pro Max had a bigger display, so it was much easier to see the display when I'm shooting from a certain angle. Taking pictures was also a great attribute on the 15 Pro. The Pixel 8 Pro and iPhone 15 Pro have some of the best front cameras in the game, so it's only right to compare. Selfies on the 15 Pro were slightly better in my opinion. My skin color on the Pixel 8 Pro was slightly more accurate, but the quality on the 15 Pro shined through. It had better sharpness, better depth of blur, and it had better social media compatibility. And comparing the 15 Pro with the Galaxy S24 Ultra, I feel like this further implements how Apple prefers a more realistic tone. The Galaxy S24 Ultra looks really good and is more saturated in color, but the 15 Pro keeps the colors more cool and toned down. I really like both for how different they are, but realism is what I prefer. Night photos on the Galaxy S24 Ultra were definitely better. The 15 Pro was able to give me some great photos as well, but it didn't hold up since the S24 Ultra had better sharpness, better quality, and the artificial light played a better role. And now when it comes to display, the 15 Pro again has risen to the occasion and is holding up very well. The 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display created great vibrancy, and the resolution is arguably the best for a phone of this size. Face ID is still the best in the smartphone market. Comparing it to the Galaxy S24 Ultra, both were very close in speed, but the 15 Pro was able to handle different situations better. When I'm in the dark, laying sideways, or have smudges on the front camera, the 15 Pro is more accurate. The 120Hz refresh rate was the smoothest when compared to the Pixel 8 Pro and S24 Ultra. Scrolling gave off a buttery smooth feel, and I didn't get any lags or jumps. Whenever I'm outside on a sunny day, everything is easy to see. The colors look well fleshed out, and it was still able to provide a top tier experience. Even looking at the resolution, the colors were still able to pop. It still looks as sharp as ever, and it's always great when watching YouTube videos or playing Asphalt 9. Now, the battery is something that the iPhone 15 Pro has been able to excel at, and it's only gotten better since my first time using it. I had a few days where I was using it lightly, 3 to 4 hours of screen time, and I damn near got a day and a half one time, which was pretty great. I did a 5-hour day and the phone was able to last me all day, and I even did an 8-hour day, and again, the 15 Pro was able to hold up very well. I mainly use my phone for social media. I shoot videos and write for videos on the 15 Pro, which also takes up a huge chunk of time. And I did regular phone things like call and text. Gaming was also one of my favorite things to do on the 15 Pro. The cooling was really good and it still has yet to overheat. I didn't get any lags or jumps whenever the game got more intense with graphics. And the whole experience is still smooth and holding up very well. And that has been most of my thoughts surrounding the iPhone 15 Pro after 5 months of use. It's a phone that will give you the exact same experience as the iPhone 15 Pro Max, while also being more convenient, more suitable, and most importantly, more cheap. And let me know down in the comments, what is your reasoning for considering the iPhone 15 Pro over the iPhone 15 Pro Max? Peace.